Next part, Hess's Law. Now, if you'll just go with me on this one, you know I like a little story. I'm just going to talk about what normally I'd be doing at this time of the year with my Whit holiday. Normally with my Whit holiday, I'd be walking my dog and I might go somewhere into the countryside like Snowdon. Unfortunately, I can't this year, so I can only look at it on photographs and hope that soon in the future I'll be able to resume my pastime. Okay, you start at Penny Pass. You can get the bus up to Penny Pass, which is a nice little car park and starting point to decide which route you're going to go up. Okay, there are 4 routes up. Okay, there's more than 4, but there are 4 main routes up. Number 1 is called the Miners' Track. Okay, the Miners' Track comes on quite a slow gradient and then climbs more steeply. There's the Pig Track here, which climbs more steeply and then slows off a bit and then goes up again, and they both join at this point and come up through a little bit of a tricky area where sometimes there's snow and sometimes it's a bit of a black spot, so you have to be careful up this point and you arrive at Snowdon. The other way, of course, is up on the railway, so you can just get the train up and it comes up sort of this way around the back and arrives across the top. It comes up this way from a place called Llanberis. Okay, comes up through this route and up this way. And then finally, not listed at all as a route, and for very obvious reasons, is a place called Cribgoch. Cribgoch is another route, and you would never, ever, ever take this route. Only serious mountain climbers with the correct equipment, in clubs and in parties together, and notifying the authorities that they're going over that route, would ever attempt such a route. It climbs very, very steeply. It's very, very precarious, and only for serious mountaineer groups that notify the authorities. It actually climbs to a point, then drops back down before climbing again. Cribgoch, an extremely serious knife-edged ridge. It is best left to experienced walkers with the proper equipment, mountaineers that are part of a club. Okay, so 4 routes up. So let's imagine you're all starting from the same point and hopefully aiming for a cup of tea in the cafe at the top. So the height from start to finish is around about 1,000 meters. Okay, but it doesn't matter which route you take, whether you go up slowly and then have a quick climb, or climb quickly and then slow down, or Cribgoch, only for serious mountaineers, climb very quickly, then actually go down again before reascending, or just take the quick route up on the train. Okay? You always start at the same point, the same height, the same elevation, and end up at the same end point, a climb of about 1,000 meters. When you climb, by the time you get to the top, you're quite tired because you've had to put energy in to climb the mountain. Okay, this is the Pig Track, so that's even got steps up. This is Cribgoch, never to be attempted apart from serious mountaineer clubs, experienced people with the right gear in parties notifying the authorities. But you can see how it goes up and then down on the other side before reascending. The Pig Track and the Miners' Track go past this lake and then climb up, and you can see this way around the back of Cribgoch where they go up and ascend the mountain. And this might be a typical walk up. On the Pig Track, you might make an ascent in the first hour of 500 meters and then slow up. Yeah, maybe you'll stop for lunch on the way up, have a sandwich, and then get up in 4 hours. The Miners' Track might take a little bit longer. Okay, maybe you climb up a little bit more slowly and then more steadily. Let's say it takes somebody 5 hours to go up. Okay, The railway is easy. You're up in half an hour, 1,000 metres, you're up, and you're then waiting for the rest of your friends doing the climb whilst you're having a cup of tea in the cafe. And a serious mountaineer, part of a mountaineering group, would make a very quick ascent up Crib Goch to start off with, and then would actually go down the other side and then up again, and then up more slowly because you'd be carrying your gear, and then you'd arrive at the top maybe in 5 hours. So you're going up quickly, down, up, up, up. But what I'm trying to get to the point is that everybody has climbed the same height. It doesn't matter which route you follow. Everybody has climbed 1,000 metres. So the amount of energy you've had to put in is the same. When you climb up, you have to put energy in, and in actual fact, if you come down a hill, you quite often get energy back out as you go down. So energy in, out, in. The railway's a bit of a cheat, I suppose, but the railway carriage is having to put some energy in to climb 1,000 metres in 1 hour. So overall, it doesn't matter what route you take up Snowdon. You're climbing the same elevation, and the overall height, which equates to the amount of energy that you or the railway carriage have to put in, is the same. It's independent of the route. That is Hess's law, that there are different ways up a mountain. So Hess's law, instead of height going up a mountain, think about the energy that you have to put in. So the amount of energy you have to put in to climb Snowdon is the same, because you climb in the same height. Yeah. So the enthalpy change, the heat change, the energy change for reaction is independent of the route taken, the reaction route, similarly to Snowdon, the way up the mountain, the route up the mountain. It doesn't matter, you're still going to have to put the same amount of energy in to climb 1,000 metres. So imagine there was a reaction here, substance A. That's our starting point, our car park, Penny Pass. This route here, okay, is Crib Goch. I'm going through reaction 2 to get to the top of Crib Goch, and then I'm going a different route to then get to the top. This one is the railway train, straight up to the top. So the substance A is my starting point, the car park. Substance B is the top, the cafe at the top. Reaction 1 is straight up on the train, and this way, up and down, is Crib Goch. It could be a different way. It could be the miners track. It could be the pig track. We could have 4 different ways up. But what I'm getting to is when you add up the enthalpy changes, the steps for each reaction, this goes in 2 steps, this goes in 1 step. So it doesn't matter when you add up all of the steps, in this case all of the hours, it doesn't matter if you go up in 1 step on the railway or if you're going up in lots of little steps, different steps. When you add them all together, they all come out as 1,000. So if a reaction route just went substance A to B, like going up on the railway, straight across, you measure the enthalpy change, the heat change, the amount of heat that's given out by 1 mole of substance when it's reacted under standard conditions of temperature, 25 degrees C, and standard conditions of pressure, 100 kilopascals. If you do it in 2 steps, so you turn substance A into substance C and then that into B, so you've carried out 2 different reactions here. You've gone this way, you've made something new, something different and then turned it into substance B. It's a two-step reaction. If I add up this enthalpy change and I add up this enthalpy change, the enthalpy change for reaction 1, just going straight from A to B, would equal the enthalpy changes for reaction 2 added to reaction 3. So reaction 1 enthalpy change equals reaction 2 added to reaction 3 enthalpy change, because this is going from Penny Pass car park up to the top of Snowdon, so this route takes the same amount of energy as going up in a different route in 2 stages.